Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it is a rainy day. It's got all the negative ions in the feels, and I am reflecting and I'm feeling soulful, spiritual. And so I thought that I would share a recent experience that I had with a psychic and what top 3 takeaways I got out of it that you can probably use. Actually, you can definitely use in your life as well. These are just reminders, I think, and they're very effective for helping you get what you want out of life and feeling how you want to feel, basically. So I just recently went back to my hometown and I had been wanting to see a psychic for a little while now, but I just didn't feel like I knew anyone or trusted anyone where I live now. So I knew a lady from way back in the day when I lived in my hometown, and just on a bit of a whim at the time, even though I wanted to go, it was a whim at the time to actually call the place and make the booking. And I was thinking, right, I want this appointment to happen on the Friday because I'll be finished all my appointments that I have for the week and all my meetings, and it will just be me time. But the only availability that she had was actually at the beginning of the week. And I just kind of gulped and thought, well, it's meant to be. So I took it. And thank God, thank goodness that I did, because everything she talked about, and I got to record it on my phone, which is amazing. It was meant to go for an hour and it went for an hour and a half. She was just so excited, and I think she was vibing off the fact that I was excited, and it was just a beautiful exchange and I loved every minute of it. If you have never been to a psychic and you're maybe a little bit scared to do so, I think that your energy going into it can determine a whole lot about how it goes. But that seeing her early in the week certainly set up my week and gave me the tools, I guess, and gave me the energy to actually meet with everyone that I need to meet and have my appointments throughout the week in a much nicer way, in a way that I felt like I was being more useful, whilst also protecting my own energy, which is super, super important. If you are a fellow empath like me, you kind of absorb everyone's emotions and try to take on or take away people's problems. I recently just saw on Facebook, actually, I'm getting there. I recently just saw on Facebook this great graphic little video that was 2 characters, and one who was kind of white and filled with light, I guess, and who would meet with someone who had some darkness in certain areas of their body, and they would hug that person or hold that person or talk to that person and absorb some of that darkness. And they went about their day doing this until they were completely full of darkness. And not saying that being empathetic towards people is a bad thing, but it can certainly drain you of your own energy and drain you of your own light sometimes, and that can fester into dis-ease, basically. So I love that little graphic. If you have a chance to see it, go and find it, Google it, YouTube it, I don't know. And yeah, it's really good at explaining that kind of empath relationship. But I love at the end that the character sits with a dog, and together they both release all their darkness and that blackness out of them, and they're whole and light and free again. And I so feel that. I'm gonna cry about my own little doggy who has just recently passed away. I think I need to do a video so that you guys can see just how amazing he is. He's still with us. He is. Anyway, moving right along. So I went and saw this psychic. It was amazing, but here are the top 3 things that I learnt and I totally believe can help you in your life. And number 1 is, it's time for all of us to have what we are wanting if we can ignite the feelings of already having them and of already being that person, living in that place, having achieved those things, and feeling the way we want to feel after the fact. And this is spoken about in all sorts of scripts and books and films and trainings everywhere. And it's the core of the law of attraction. It's the core of manifestation, is to feel the feelings, to light up the feelings. And it's really, really important for where I'm at right now, because I know where I want to go and I know what I want to achieve. I need to ignite those feelings within myself like I already have it and I'm living that right now. And yeah, look at my face just light up just talking about it. So it gets me really excited, and that's what you want to tap into. I was thinking about this last night as I was going to sleep, and I don't know whether there was a moment, but I feel like there was lots of moments when I was little where I was kind of told to settle down, little girl, like stop being so excited about things. The world's going to hurt you if you keep being this excited. I really had like a Pollyanna kind of outlook on life, and just like Anne of Green Gables was was my jam when I was little, and just being happy. I was just in love with being happy, and there were certain times where that got me a lot of friendships or attention. I remember there was this one school bus that I used to catch that all the older kids were like, "Oh, Sam, like, what are you doing today? Blah, blah, blah." And I was just so hyper excited, but not in an annoying way, I don't think. And just naturally like exuberant, and just releasing all of my like funny, silly, happy-go-lucky energy, and people were drawn to that. But there was also another bus that I caught when we moved, where people made fun of me for being like that, and where it was a very dark bus ride to school every single day, to the point where I would sit down and I would pop, my knees would pop out. I think that was like it was that, if it sounds painful, it is. They used to pop out all the time. Like I would turn around to sit down and a knee would pop out and I'd have to whack it back into place, sitting there on the bus in silence, because everyone was just nasty. And funnily enough, they were both called Bus M. They just went in different directions, and they both had the same bus driver. So maybe he swapped his route because it was a different side of town. Anyway, they were both called Bus M, and I had the same bus driver, but the people on the bus were very different, which made me different, made me feel different. So I'm like a squirrel getting off track with this. Okay, but it's really important. I hope that you can make a list if you have to, about how you are going to feel once you achieve. I'm going to be happy when, and I'm going to feel confident when. I'm going to feel unstoppable, limitless, proud in the best kind of way. I'm going to feel sexy, like whatever it is that you are going to feel when you've achieved something. Write all of those things down, and then one by one, like go through a meditation and a visualization with yourself, and affirm. Like if you haven't got affirmations all over the house because you think it's lame, like bugger that, just do it. It certainly works. If you want to record your own voice saying your affirmations out loud: I am powerful, I am amazing, I am unstoppable, I am a successful businesswoman, I am so happy living where I live, I'm so happy and grateful I now get to live by the water. If you are saying it in a present tense and you can attach feelings to each one of those while you're recording it, you hearing that back, if you play that back to yourself every single day, those affirmations, they can ignite that feeling. But if you're a visual person, go into a meditation, do a vision board as well. I have a Pinterest board of my goals, and I look at that every day. Make a little video if you want to on your phone, and ignite those feelings one by one. It takes a little bit of study. It might take a little while, but develop those feelings. What does confidence feel like in your body? Where does it sit? How does it light up your face and your eyes and your hands? And does it just make you go, yes? You know, like really get into it and feel those feelings and ignite those feelings, so that you're walking through your day with those feelings in you, and you become a magnet, you become aligned to what you're actually asking for, what you're actually wanting, and boom, magic happens, right? Usually previous psychic experiences that I've had, I've only had about 3 or 4 prior to this. Usually they talked a lot about other people in my life, but this one was all about me. And I feel like I went into that wanting that, because I have been an empath my whole life, but like I needed some answers for myself. I needed, not answers because I think we all know anyway, and I certainly know that I'm capable and I will achieve everything I want to achieve, and be everything and have everything and do everything and give everything that I want to achieve. I believe that. I think I just needed clarity around and reassurance around that they would happen how I wanted them to happen, and that it was time now. You know, it's kind of like personal development. going to a psychic, and I wanted it to be about me, and it was all about me. And that's kind of rare for my own experience. Every time it's been like, your mum and your sisters are doing this, and this is what's happening over here, and your partner's doing that. And this time it was all about me. It was really, really nice, really refreshing. And yeah, that's great personal development. When it's all about you, you're focused on what you need to be doing. So point number 2 is to focus white light into your hands and create your own healing hands. So she did say that every time that I feel unsupported, or perhaps that I might be failing myself or letting myself down or letting someone else down, often that's going to show up in my lower back. And she's so right. And usually it's after a kind of stressful moment, event, something happens, and it's after the fact, and it's when I'm relaxing, when I've just gone, oh, okay, it will hit then, and it will be just the most ridiculous pain. And sometimes it's a little bit higher than my lower back, and it will actually reach around into my chest and cause like pains that my mum, when I had this pain in front of my mum, she actually thought I was having a heart attack and took me to the emergency department. But no, I was fine. It's just I have to lay really flat. I have to focus on my breathing. But now she gave me another tool to actually see the white light that you can often like hear people talking about coming through the top of your head or coming through your third eye. Just focus white light. And I love doing this when the sun is rising in the morning, and focusing white light filling my whole body and having it tingle, or golden white light, is really amazing and healing. But feeling the white light in your hands, you might often see people do that when they're about to do something big, unconsciously too, but you can conjure some like energy there. Right? You can focus some energy there and think of white light and control it. But then you can also place that white light, close your eyes if you have to, place your hands, and those healing hands now, on where it hurts, on where you feel pain has triggered because of something or someone. Maybe it's here. You know, maybe if you get a sore throat and you're thinking, if anyone's into Louise Hay and You Can Heal Your Life, and you get a sore throat and you're thinking, okay, what am I not saying to someone? I need to let that out. But you can also place your hand there and talk to your throat chakra and heal that. But place your hands where it needs to be. Close your eyes, focus the white light, healing hands, and say something supportive and kind and beautiful to yourself. Usually if you're focused on that, the kind of words will come into your mind anyway that you need to say. And for me, it's like, I thank you for supporting myself. I thank you for the support that you give me. I thank you for pursuing fearlessly what you need in this world, and holding me up to achieve it. Like, whatever you want to say, I've actually listened back. This is a bonus point. Listen back if you get a recording, and kind of study what that psychic has said, and journal on it, and you know, stream on it, like unconscious stream of writing, and write so fast until your pen can't keep up with your brain. Let it all out. Do list making, drawings, whatever you need to do in like a special little journal, and study that call and what needs to be done. That'll take that personal development, that self-development, that spiritual development to a whole other level. It's essentially putting white light into your own hands and creating healing hands, and placing that on where it hurts, and speaking kindness into that area, speaking loving kindness, healing kindness into that area, and taking some big deep breaths and just letting it go, really. And yeah, that's point number 2. I think that's really vital in this day and age where we do hold on to so much emotion. Actually, side note, if you haven't watched the Heal documentary, I watched that last night, and I saw the psychic like 4 weeks ago now. So that definitely supports that tip that I got from her about healing yourself and mind over matter, and tapping into that unconscious mind where the cells are ignited to heal yourself. And point number 3, the top 3 takeaways from seeing my psychic, is to know your why. And this is something that is also talked about in self-help books the world over, and videos and gurus everywhere talk about this, but it's so true. It's your why is so much more powerful than the how. And your why is the reason why you want what you are wanting, the reason why you want to move into that space of existence. This ties in nicely with point number 1, which is to visualize and manifest and feel the feelings. It's knowing the reason why you want to live that life and having it super crystal clear as your compass, okay? Not necessarily a roadmap of how this is going to happen and a strategy of how that's going to happen and a timeline of, yes, this is going to happen here and that's going to happen there. I think so many people go to see psychics expecting like exact dates, and sometimes you will get that, but oftentimes you're just going to get hints at, yes, this is all happening soon, but don't focus on how it's happening and send yourself a little bit cuckoo trying to figure that out. It's more tap into the reason why, let that guide you, support it with all those feelings, support it with your healing hands, stay on the path, and you will get there. A lot of people in business often refer to Simon Sinek's Start With Why TED Talk. If you haven't seen that, it's really, really good. I watched that years and years ago. Start With Why, Simon Sinek. I'll actually link it below for you. But also a lot of people say your why needs to make you cry. Your why needs to make you cry. And I agree and I disagree. I think that so many people say that with the intention to make you cry in a, like, if I don't do this, it's going to be absolutely devastating way, which that works for some people, that kind of hinging point of it's going to affect someone else and it's going to affect my life really negatively. Some people want to run away from fear, but some people want to run towards something amazing and run towards happiness, right? So if your why makes you cry in a good way, which it does for me, I think of those feelings of having achieved everything and who I'm able to give back to. There's very specific people that I want to give back to and help along on their own journey, and that drives me a lot. But me having achieved that and crying because I've achieved that and feeling the feelings of their life being impacted and us being connected in a way like never before. I know that I was put on this earth to do something like that. That makes me cry in a happy way. So maybe the idea of your why needs to make you cry is a running away from fear one, or maybe it's a running towards happiness one. I'll let you decide. But knowing your reasons, basically, know that it's right for you. Your reason why it will hit you like, I really do believe that it will just hit you, and it might have already hit you. So don't go looking for something that's going to like knock you off your feet. Sometimes it's very subtle, but you just know, like in every like cell in your body, right to the core of your soul, you know that is your reason why, or collective little bunch of reasons why, which is mine. Mine's a little collective bunch, but they're all kind of intertwined. So it does kind of make one big why if you think about it. I'm not going to say that it has to be something that is about someone else. I'm not going to say that it has to be something that is giving back to others. It might actually be that you get yourself out of survival mode and this pity cycle or a grinding cycle or a really unhealthy season in your life. Maybe it's that, and you get out of that survival mode into thriving mode. Maybe that forms part of your, and what that looks like specifically. What am I achieving? How am I feeling? What am I doing? Where am I living? What do I look like? All those feelings associated with that can support that big why, right? It doesn't have to be about someone else. And I think that there's so many quotes that people jump on these days, especially trolls on social media, and they're like, oh, but did you think of this? Or you use a certain word and they pick that word apart. I think that's fair enough, but people need to understand that one quote doesn't summarize everything you feel about that point that is being made in that quote. It doesn't summarize exactly how you're feeling about life in general. It's not the be all and end all of your thoughts and your life. I think it's really weird that people do jump on these things, but I think that they jump on it more for their own questioning and their own like asserting their knowledge onto someone else rather than them attacking you. So empaths, if you're you know being harassed on social media a little bit, have the courage to be disliked, because technically it's not about you, it's about them. And you know, if you could put a disclaimer over the whole of life that said, just because I post this one thing or just because I say that one sentence doesn't form my complete thoughts and knowledge and opinion about that topic. There's lots and lots of thoughts that can change at any minute based on new information that you get or new experiences that you have, right? And that's life. So let's all be a little bit kinder to ourselves to start with, but then be kinder to each other when putting this out there. And put it out there. Put it out there however you want. I don't mean that you have to put it on social media, but put it out there to your angels and your spirit guides and the universe and God and whatever you want to call it, the higher beings. Put it out there to your higher self or your past self or your future self. And yeah, I hope that's been useful for you. My top 3 takeaways from my recent psychic experience that I think are valuable and useful and robust examples of moving forward in your life very powerfully. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what else you do. There's lots of other things that I do, and maybe I'll do some more videos about it. If there's something that I've talked about very briefly in this video that you would like me to talk more about, let me know. But drop down below what you do, and yeah, let's create a little conversation. And I wish you all the love and light going forward in your day, your week, your month, your year, and your life. Thanks everyone. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.